when did you decide to really jump in and go all in on the real estate side? And how did you focus on really scaling the business?
So when my best friend broker that I had been with for 3 years, 4 years at that point, he finally turned on the gas to our business. So I was just waiting on him to decide, like, hey, we want to get a CRM, we want to start buying leads and create the framework for a business that we could operate in. So we did that. We got trained on our system and started having, I think we bought realtor.com leads. And then I just started working the phones, just calling, dialing for dollars. And I found that I was really good at it. I hated getting hung up on and slamming the phone down anymore is like this, but I just hated I hated the rejection, but that thickened my skin. And all of a sudden, and I want to say that was probably 2018, maybe 2019 is when we turned on the gas. And I started having like 4 to 6 deals in contract at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, this is working. And I just had my blinders on and I was going for it. And, oh, this is working. I got this in contract. All right, on to the next. And then we didn't have a transaction coordinator. So I was TCing my own stuff all the way through. And my broker came to me a little bit later and he's like, Ryan, do you realize what you're doing? And I'm like, no, what do you mean? He's like, you are crushing it. And I was like, oh, am I? I didn't know. I didn't have a grid for what the majority of agents in the country are doing.
Right.
The average production of an agent's 3 to 5 deals a year, if that. And the failure rates over 80%, within 2 years. I mean, there's a lot of fallout in our industry. And here I am, I'm crushing it. So I felt like I just, stumbled into something, that my broker friend put in the system in place, and I started working it and it worked. So
Yeah.
that's when it really started lit a fire under me to take it forward. And then he made some changes because the other agents on our team didn't do their part. So it was my wife and I kind of carrying the team, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't worth it financially for them. So because he made those changes, I'm like, you're my best friend, I love you, but I'm going over here now. And he's like, all right, do what's right for you. And we're still best friends today. And so I've just tried this, I tried that. I've been at several different brokerages and tried multiple CRMs now, and I know what I like. So I understand the framework for a business, the structure of what works. And now I'm taking the risk personally to start my own thing, which we just did this week. And so that's been a huge, awesome transition. I'm excited. I'm just can't tell you.
I want to ask you because, up until that point, you really worked your business, mainly the painting business, by word of mouth and by referral. And I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think in our world in real estate, you have like this division: leads versus SOI, and which one's right. What was it for you that leads brought to the table, specifically because you did have more of an SOI referral based painting business and you grew it that way? And now in the real estate side, it was more of like growing it through the leads opportunity. What did leads bring to you?
That's a great question too. I never advertised in my painting business ever. I always I had more work than I could even keep up with. So to think about paying for lead generation at first was scary, and thought it was almost like am I failing because I have to pay to find people to work with me? But no, it's not that way at all.
Yeah.
And I know I'm prepared to do a good job for my buyers and seller leads that come in, and I'm very personable enough to gain their trust and credibility and authority very quickly in one conversation, where I at least have them believing I'm not a snake and I'm not going to take advantage of them. I'm here to serve you. Here's my heart in this business. So I get a little gushy mushy sometimes, a little more than some guys might, but it's just to convey being real. I want people to really feel warm that I'm here to serve you, and I'll prove it. Just give me a chance to show you. You're not committing to me right away. And so working new leads, I found a niche with that. So there's the realtor.com leads, and then there's Zillow leads, which
Mm-hmm.
are very different. So realtor.com leads come to you in a text, and if you're doing shared, that's you and one other brokerage that get that. You have to be first to the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that because I'm like, people would answer and go, I didn't do this. Yeah, I never signed up for this, but, or they're like, oh, someone else already got me. And I'm like, ah. So with Zillow, it's a live transfer. So that's a lot warmer. People are expecting to get you on the phone. But when I was doing realtor.com leads, I had this funny way of breaking the ice very fast. And when they would answer, first time that I've ever spoken to them, hey, this is Ryan Meyers, your friendly realtor. I'm not calling if, or I would say, if you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. I won't keep bugging you. And they're like, oh, you're okay. All right. So I'm like, I'm just following up because you're in my queue. You may have done something that initiated this response from me. If you don't need my help, I promise I'm not going to bug you. But are you looking for a house? Have you found something yet? And I found huge success with it. And so I actually taught a couple other people that technique, and it worked for them. And I think it's all personality. Some people aren't
Yeah.
bred that way, but I just keep finding my niche and ways to overcome objections. And I love the fluidity of it. There is no one size fits all.
Yeah. I think with the leads, it's just a constant opportunity that gets put in front of you, right? I mean, like I got a call yesterday. The lady called me out of the blue. It was I think it was like a Memphis phone number, right? Area code. Don't answer the first time. She calls me back 20 minutes later. Finally answer, and it was a referral from one of my past clients, right? And I think a lot of times people think like leads are like, oh, it's cold calling, or I don't know this lady that just called me. Like technically she's a cold lead. I'm meeting her Sunday, and we're gonna figure out if we can do something for her. And I think a lot of times with the leads, like people just think, hey, they're just cold leads. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities where we get referrals and stuff where we don't know the people. If we only worked with people that we knew, then a lot of people would be broke. So,
Right.
like leads was just an opportunity. I want to